Good afternoon, everybody, from Island Extreme Bowl in Welch, Minnesota. Time for our final round of match play here at the PWBA Minnesota Open. Live on Bowl TV on Extra Frame. I'm Lucas Wiseman. Thanks for joining us for our final 8-game block to determine our stepladder finalists for the finals tonight. So as we start our second round of match play, Rocio Restrepo is your tournament leader, sitting at plus 928. Rocio went 7-1 in her matches in the first round today to get to plus 928. Another bowler who went 7-1 is Kayla Bandy, and she's on our featured pairs right now, and she is at plus 855. Kayla Bandy taking on Missy Parkin in this opening game. Danielle McEwen against Sandra Gongora. So you got Restrepo in the lead, Bandy in second, Pluhowski just 9 pins back of second at plus 846. Fourth place is Missy Parkin at plus 733. She only went 3 and 5 in her matches this morning. Fifth place, Danielle McEwen, who will be up on lane 17 here momentarily. Danielle 6 pins behind Missy for fourth place. Kelly Kulik is in sixth, and she's only 53 back. Diana Zavyalova, 59 back. Stephanie Johnson, 84 back. Gongora is 124, Wendell is 136, and everybody else is more than 150 pins behind fourth place. All the lanes have been re-oiled to be prepared for this afternoon session, so we are bowling on fresh to start things off here. We've got 7 games followed by the position round in game 8. And after a total of 28 games, we will know our 4 bowlers who will take part in the stepladder tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, right here live on Bowl TV on Extra Frame. All 4 of the players on our pairs this game we could see tonight in the stepladder. Bandy, Parkin, and McEwen with the best chances. Gongora, a little bit of an outside chance, 124 back of fourth. She will need to bowl well and win some matches this afternoon if she wants to sneak onto the show. Well, so far, Kayla Bandy off to the hot start on our featured pairs. Getting a sample of why she went 7-1 this morning and moving all the way up to second place. Kayla finished qualifying in 7th. So she made a big move up the standings today. Her average in qualifying was 225.92, and now Kayla's average sitting at 232.25. So she must have put up a big number this morning. She did 1934 for 8th. It's a 241.75 average today for Kayla Bandy, which is the highest in the field. Second highest was Rocio Restrepo at 1904. It's no surprise that those two players are first and second. Plus all the bonus pins really helped to move them up the standings. When you win 7 matches at 30 bonus pins a pop, that is a lot of bonus pins. Adding an extra plus 210 to your total. So here is Kayla Bandy, 5th frame. She needed a little bit of help on that one if it was going to strike. Leaves the 610. Looked like it was just left off her hand. Danielle McEwen with the big 4 in the 5th. See some of the ladies playing a really tight inside line. Has something to do with the fact that this is a 47-foot pattern. It's the longest pattern of the season. 7 frames in, Gongora leads by 6 against McEwen. Both players working on a double in that match. Danielle getting ready to bowl her 8th frame here momentarily. Missy Parkin down by 36 against Kayla Bandy. Finally a double on the board for Missy Parkin. That wipes 10 pins off the deficit. Makes it 26. Nice shot by Kayla Bandy. Much better shot than she'd made the last couple of frames. Gongora trying to take the lead back. Currently down by 4. Leaves the 2-pin. So she'll be down by 5 with the spare. Strike for Kayla Bandy. Double for her. She can shoot 264 this game if she strikes out, 9th and 10. Missy Parkin with her 3rd consecutive strike as she starts to heat things up a little bit. She's still down by 26, however. Missy can max at 238. So in order to win this game, she's going to need a little bit of help from Kayla. Kayla Bandy going at a 234 pace. Kelly Kulik back here watching. She must be coming to this pair next. Another strike for Bandy. Mark, she'll be in the 240s. There's another strike for McEwen, who will go into the 10th frame. An opportunity to shoot 252 this game. So Kayla Bandy leaves the 8-10 in the 10th frame. They're going to have to make the score correction. Actually, it's going to give Missy Parkin a chance to take the game. Kayla needed a mark to shut her out. Well, Missy needed to carry that hit to win this game, and she is going to come up just short. Needed to have a double in the 10th frame. So Missy will lose another match here. Not had much luck winning matches today. She's going to be 3-6. She had been hanging on to that 4th place spot. That's not going to happen for much longer. She is going to fall out of the top 4 after this game. 230 to 213. Kayla Bandy holds on to win despite the open in the 10th. Danielle McEwen with 230. It's enough for her. Sandy Gongora can only get to 226. All right, so ready to get started with game 2. Megan Kelly against Kelly Kulik. It's going to be on 15 and 16. 17 and 18. Looks like Christina Wendell. Not sure who she'll be bowling just yet. Find out soon enough. Looks like she'll be bowling Stephanie Johnson. Kelly Kulik. High on that shot, leaves the 4-pin. Looks like she's trying to play a similar part of the lane that Kayla Bandy was playing in the first game on this pair. Stephanie Johnson looking for a double to start. She leaves the bucket. You see Stephanie playing a different part of the lane. Some of the players with higher rev rates. Updated standings after 21 games. Rocio Restrepo and Kayla Bandy both won their first matches of this afternoon session and still are first and second. Rocio at plus 996, Kayla Bandy at plus 915. Shannon Pluhowski plus 893. Danielle McEwen is fourth now at plus 787. Diana Zavialova now fifth, 27 pins back of the show. Missy Parkin has now dropped to sixth at 41 pins off the show. Kelly Kulik is 59 pins outside of fourth. Stephanie Johnson 140 back. Everybody else more than 160 pins back of fourth place. No question who has dominated so far today in match play, and that is Restrepo and Bandy. And the question will be, can they keep it up for another 7 games? They are both 8-1 in matches. Everybody else has lost at least 3 games in this match play today through 9 games. We've got a couple of players who are 6-3. Diana and Kelly are both 6-3. You got a lot of bowlers who are 5-4, 4-5, 3-6, kind of right in the middle of the pack in terms of wins and losses today. Kelly rings a 10 pin. She still leads by 12. Stephanie up by just a couple of sticks here. She bowls in the third. And up by 1 now against Christina Wendell. Christina bowled 300 earlier today, and we had that video on our PWBA Facebook page, facebook.com/PWBA Tour. If you're interested to check that out. Baby split conversion for Christina Wendell. Still a pretty close match there with Stephanie Johnson. Wendell trailing by 1 pin. As Kelly Kulik steps up, now suddenly trailing by 8 pins against Megan Kelly. But Kelly has no problem taking the lead back by 2 at the halfway point of this second game this afternoon. Next week we head to Canton, Michigan, which is right outside Detroit, for the PWBA Detroit Open. That'll be at Super Bowl. And we'll have all the coverage for you here on Bowl TV on Extra Frame, just like we have the last few weeks at the standard PWBA Tour event. So same format, a little different schedule next week, as qualifying times are a little bit different. But you can find that schedule at pwba.com. Click on tournaments, and then you can click on the details for the Detroit stop. Turned into a bit of a strike fest between Megan and Kelly. Kelly keeps it going, 4 in a row for her. It's Kulik up by 2, 3 frames to go. Christina Wendell falling a bit more behind here. An open frame in the 6th. Trails by 24 with 4 frames to go. Megyn Kelly finally ends her string of strikes. Had a nice run, though, with 5 in a row to really keep herself in this game against Kelly Kulik, but now Megyn falling behind by 13 with just 2 frames left. And Kulik have a chance to step up 9th and 10th, shut her out, win this match. We'll see what happens. Megyn leaves a 7-pin. Megyn had a 299 earlier today. Kind of gave her a little bit of a boost. She made it at one point after that 299 to within 135 pins of 4th place, but now finds herself 334 pins outside of the show with 7 games to be added to that total, so very unlikely that she will overcome such a big deficit with so few games left. And a whiffed 7-pin for Megyn Kelly. Just about gift wraps this game for Kelly Kulik. Stephanie Johnson has been on the receiving end of a couple of opens by Christina Wendell in this last couple of frames. That has allowed Stephanie to move her lead up to 34 with 2.5 frames to go. Nice shot by Kulik. You can tell off her hand. That one looked pretty good. That is her 6th strike in a row. Kelly can still shoot 270 this game. This may be the game that boosts Kelly up. Have to wait and see. Shoots 270. She's going to be pretty close to that number 4 spot, if not in the number 4 spot. Now she's looking at 249 as a best case scenario here. She's got the match one, so she will pick up the 30 bonus pins. 249 put her plus 79 for the game. .246 for Kulik. Stephanie Johnson looking to step up here 9th and 10th to close out this game. Already up by 34, can go up by 44 with a strike, and would not even need a mark in the 10th. And that is exactly what happens. Stephanie, another one who needs a big finish today to make the show. She's 140 back. If she strikes out this game, she shoot 236. With the win, add 30 pins to that. Would boost her hopes a little bit, but she's going to need to probably step it up a notch above that scoring pace to have a chance to make it into the show tonight. Probably needing to average about 240 the rest of the way, maybe a little more, and win matches. .245 for Johnson. I knew he was going to do that today. And she'll be at 223 with a spare. More than enough to win the game. Not enough to really make up much ground. Waiting for our next bowlers to come in. Looks like Kelly Kulik, maybe against Liz Johnson. right, so Liz Johnson against Kelly Kulik. Liz with a blowout 10 to start. And we'll have Lindsay Boomershine against Stephanie Johnson. So we get to watch Stephanie Johnson and Kelly Kulik again this game. Stephanie starts things off with a couple of strikes. Kelly almost 210s. 10 pin's still standing. It just happens to be in the gutter, and they're gonna have to spot it. It looks like. Ten pin for Boomershine. Looks like she's a little bit frustrated with that. Should have an update here for you. After 22 games, Rocio Restrepo, 9-1, 1043 is her plus now. Kayla Bandy also 9-1, and she's at plus 957. Shannon Pluhowski is third at plus 899. Missy Parkin fourth place now, back up to fourth at plus 814. Kelly Kulik is just 10 off the show. Danielle McEwen 32 off the show. Diana Zavialova 46 off the show. Stephanie Johnson 114 back. Liz Johnson 137 and Jody Wessner 141 back of fourth place. Everybody else more than 200 pins back of fourth place with 6 games to go. So right now your show would be Restrepo, Bandy, Pluhowski, and Parkin. Kelly with finally gets a strike on the board after 3 9 spares in a row. Right now, Kulik only 10 off the show. Liz Johnson sitting at 137 off the show. (7-10) split for Boomershine, who looks increasingly frustrated with each frame that goes by. Things not going so well for Kelly this game all of a sudden. She leaves the 3-4, 6, 7, 10 split. A little more reminiscent of last week's pattern. Somehow Stephanie gets the 10 out on that little bit of a weak hit there for the double. Stephanie is looking like she's ready to start making her push toward the show, as she is 114 back. Big game here would put her right up in the mix with just a handful of games to go. Kelly's going to give this a run and ends up with an open frame. week 10 for Kelly. She's going to have to make some sort of an adjustment. Kulik is back talking to the ball rep, Hank Rubenstein, asking for some advice on what to do as Liz steps up. She goes through the face and leaves the split. Stephanie goes high and gets the strike on that one, and she'll take the lucky break. Kelly comes up a little bit light, leaves the 2-pin. It could have been a little bit worse. As much as Kelly struggled in this game, she only trails by 12 pins as we close out the 7th frame. Stephanie Johnson's got a 43-pin lead on Lindsay Boomershine with 2 frames to go. Kelly finally on the board with a strike, just her 2nd strike of the game. I'm sure Stephanie would love to have a big finish here and get to 258. Gets that hit to carry. She'll have a chance to get in the 250s as she goes into the 10th frame. one never really had a chance to strike for Stephanie. She comes up light, leaves the 2. She was kind of hoping that something might trip it out, but the shot was a little bit too far right. Never quite hooked back up into the pocket. Liz Johnson with that spare still leads by 12. 2 frames to go against Kelly Kulik. That one could still go either way. Relatively low scoring game in comparison to what we've seen from a lot of our matches today. .238 for Stephanie Johnson. She picks up the win against Lindsay Boomershine. Kelly Kulik can pull to within 2 with a strike here in the 9th. And she does finally get a double on the board this game. Kelly trying to take the lead with a strike here, and she does. Kelly can strike out for 213. Liz can strike out for 215. So Liz needs to match whatever Kelly does here in the 10th. Lindsay coming on strong at the end of this game, but too little too late. And Stephanie Johnson had enough for the shutout. Like Brianna Caldwell just threw the back 10 for a 280 game against Shannon Pluhowski. Unfortunately for Brianna, she's 261 pins out of 4th. Certainly will help her make up a lot of ground, though. And you never know. She continues to put up big games like that throughout this block. She could get herself right back in the mix. So Kelly had the big double in the 10th. It's going to force Liz to double. Well, Kelly kind of saves that game, throws the back 5 for 213. Liz Johnson will need a double in 9 in the 10th frame to win the game by 1. No problem on the first one for LJ. She needs a strike in 9 to win the game. 30 bonus pins, pretty important for both these players. They are both outside of the top 4 as of this moment. gets the strike. Big double in the 10th for Liz. 9 pins is what she needs on the fill. Liz gets 8 for the tie. 213, 213. They each get 15 bonus pins. Fast 8 for Liz. Looked like it was a little high. And they tie at 213 apiece. As we watch Game 4, Gongora against Caldwell, Parkin against Carbonetto. We have an update on the standings for you after 23 games. So we have 5 games to add to the standings. Restrepo and Bandy keep on chugging. Both 10-1. They've gone undefeated this afternoon, 3-0. Rocio at plus 1097 and Kayla at plus 1015. So they are starting to run away a little bit here. Shannon Pluhowski is third at plus 901. Diana Zavialova has moved into fourth place at plus 860. Danielle McEwen is now 12 pins off the show. Missy Parkin 18 pins back. Kelly Kulik 28 back. Stephanie Johnson 92. And Liz Johnson 155 pins off the show. And that is with 5 games to be added yet to the standings. Caldwell with a double. She had that big 280 last game. That helped to move her up the standings to 11th place. But she's still 197 pins off the show with 4.5 games to go. You never know, 197 pins is a lot to overcome in just 5 games, but Brianna keeps striking like that. She may make a run at things here. Sandy covers up the spare. She trails by 21 pins after 6 frames. Our other match also after 6 frames, and it is pretty even. Missy Parkin up by 1. Big double for Missy. She takes an 11-pin lead. Missy currently in 6th place. 18 pins off the show. It's not very much. Shaping up to be a pretty close finish here this week. Carbonetto with the 10 pin, so Missy's lead at 12. With 3 frames to go here in game 4. Jason Thomas joining us now. Hi, Jason. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Always a pleasure to have another voice on the live streaming. People, I think, are a little tired of hearing just me.
I'm sure that's not true.
Well, we're going to have what appears to be another close finish in the match play. We've got several people who are close to the number. And the big story today has been Rocio Restrepo and Kayla Bandy both going 10-1 in match play so far.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, that you can see by just looking at the averages. Rocio's just bowled incredibly well today. But earlier in the day, Shannon's out averaging Kayla Bandy by a pin and a half, but she's behind her by 114 pins because she's won 5 less matches. So it's a big deal to win those matches, and.
The person who has really been hurt by the inability to win matches is Missy Parkin, who's in 6th place, but she's averaging 231.39, which is pretty high up there with that would be top 4 if it was based on average. But she's only 4-7 in her matches, so she's lost a lot of bonus pins out there today. The 10-1 those are pretty impressive totals. It's not too often you see 2 people going 10-1 after 11 games.
No, it's very rare. Stephanie Johnson went 14-2 a few weeks back, but she just dominated that week. I mean, she out-averaged the next closest by 10 pins.
And she had a look that nobody else had.
Right.
That kind of helps.
And this week, it kind of everybody in the finals has a good look. In fact, Lindsay Boomershine, who
has the
15th place, has the front 10.
Well, Jason, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in a little bit. Jason's going to have to run over there and get the video. I'm glad that the fans clapped because I hadn't noticed. Apparently, Jason needs to use my phone.
Yes, I do not have my phone with me.
So if
we'll at least let her get the front 11.
Well, we already had a 300 today. Christina Wendell had one down on lane 24. And we had the video on our PWBA Facebook and Twitter as Lindsay struck again. And so Jason's going to run down there and get a video of the final shot. See if Lindsay can shoot 300. Lindsay is down in 15th place. 371 pins off the show, so she would need a lot of strikes in the last half of the second round of match play here to have a chance to make it. So we'll let you know if Lindsay Boomershine closes it out for the 300. Nope. Through the face. Gets 6. 369.10. 296 game. Must have just yanked it, huh, Jason?
Ugh, I think it was my fault.
She didn't even see you sneak up on her. You were pretty sneaky.
That was a pretty impressive conversion there. 5'10".
Probably not a great sign if you're leaving the 5'10".
How did she leave it?
I didn't see. I was
oh, wow.
I was
Too busy
focused on
watching
Lindsay.
Me Black Cloud Lindsay.
Yeah. Well, we've had a 300 game today by Christina Wendell. We had a 299 by Megan Kelly and a 296 by Lindsay Boomershine.
And next, someone's going to shoot 293.
Of course, this is all because the pattern is too easy this week.
Well, we had someone last week on Twitter say how, these ladies must not be as good as everybody thought they were.
Maybe he thinks they're really good now.
Yeah,
because they're throwing a
now
lot of strikes.
Yeah.
It's the longest pattern of the season, 47 feet. It's Paris, which I think has a history of being a little bit higher scoring. Basically Paris. I don't know if it's officially the same as Paris, but if you look at the graphs, it looks
similar. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty close.
Yes.
Looks like the Eiffel Tower.
Exactly.
Open frame for Caldwell. Brianna had 280 last game to kind of take a big chunk out of her deficit from fourth place. She's 197 out, but only going to be 190 this game, so too hard to come back from such a big deficit.
Yeah, you'll need 280 every game.
Yeah, pretty much, especially with a high scoring pace. And Missy Parkin looks like she may be on her way to the win here against Jackie Carbonetto. Missy desperately needing 30 bonus pins. She hasn't had too many today. As Carbonetto finishes at 214. Jason, we may hear some rumbles of thunder later. We're under a tornado watch until 11 p.m. now here in Welch.
Yeah.
So let's keep our fingers crossed that it waits until after. That's as you know, a live streamer's nightmare to be live streaming when there's severe weather outside.
Yeah.
Waiting for the power to go out
Yeah.
or the internet line to drop. Or
we had it at Junior Gold this year.
yeah. But according to Danielle Dozier, meteorologist at Fox 59 in Indianapolis, she says that it looks like the weather won't come through here until after 8:30, so be after our showtime.
That's good. Well, Missy Parkin now.
She needs one.
Yeah, she's going to win the match, but 8-10 in the pocket, which is funny because Rocio Restrepo just 4 lanes over also left an 8-10 right at the same time.
I don't think they think that's funny.
Yeah. it's unusual.
It is unusual,
Yeah.
yes. Missy still needs a pin here to lock up the win.
Yeah, but that's not going to taste good. Going
No.
from 248.
Especially when she is 18 pins off the show, and she missed it for the tie. Goodness gracious. That is the second consecutive tie on that pair. Kelly and Liz tied at 213 last game, and they tie at 214 this game. That hurts Missy a lot because she lost a lot of wood with the 810, and she also lost 15 bonus pins right there.
Wow.
By missing that 10 pin.
Yeah, she was looking at picking up 78, and then now she picked up 29, 49 pins.
That's a big swing, especially when you're outside of the number looking in. The scoring pace has been relatively high. Although I'm not sure the scores were super high this game. Looks like Pluhowski shot 170. Seems like the score's kind of down a little bit this game anyway.
Sandra needs a strike to win by a pin. And,
yeah, Caldwell struck out to put a little pressure on her.
She's only thrown 4 strikes this game.
I predict she will shred the rack.
Uh-oh.
Maybe on the Brooklyn side. Or maybe she'll get 8 and lose.
Wow.
8 to lose by 1. Now, how about some drama? We didn't have this much drama the whole day until you showed up, Jason.
It must be me. I bring the
black,
drama with
black clouding people everywhere,
Yeah,
even to win
cloud.
games.
Yeah.
2 shots to win games and both unsuccessful.
I'm the drama queen.
Not touching that one with a 6-foot pole. So, game 4 over. Game 5 will be getting started shortly.
Looks like Danielle McEwen will be on one of our featured pairs.
I wonder if Jackie's just coming right next
gonna
door.
Move over.
Yep. Stepladder finals again this week at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 Eastern. If you'd like to join us tonight for that, or if you can't join us, it's always available on demand after the fact on Extra Frame, and on Wednesdays we post it on our Bowl TV YouTube channel.
Yeah, the other thing that you're not going to be able to watch this for a few months, but we're actually following around Kelly Kulick this week for the Bowling Academy and the Increase Your Average DVD series, and we're basically documenting her whole event, and not so much for, in the past that's been done for more reality style and for the drama. This is more about for instruction. You know, how do you play a pattern? What do you do when you see a transition? You know, what ball changes do you make when you see your ball start leaving flat tens? So those are the kinds of things that will be explored in that DVD. And you know, Kelly is making it dramatic because she's kind of straddling the line between making the show and being just off. So you're going to get to see all those decisions made in a very high pressure situation, which will be great content when it comes out.
So we've got Carbonetto against McEwen and Caldwell against Bandy for game 5.
I'll tell you, I'm watching them bowl, and everyone's saying how high scoring the lanes are, which usually translates to, you know, these players have a lot of room. I'm not seeing a lot of room out there. If they miss left, it's 4-pin or 4-9 or high. If they miss right, it's 2-pin. I think they're just getting sharp because you know they've bowled on such demanding conditions all season long, and now they have 2 boards to play with, and they're taking advantage of it.
I can't say for sure, but I think our scoring pace went down a little bit that game. I can't see all the scoreboards.
Yeah.
I can only see
Except
some
for
of them.
Lindsay,
But
who shot 296.
yeah, she would be about the only one, but she was so far down in the standings that not really an impact player at this point. There's one match still finishing up, Rocio against Kayla. And actually that's an interesting matchup because that's 2 players who are both 10-1. Can't tell who won, but it looks like Kayla won. Because Rocio was in the 180s.
Right.
And Kayla's I think Kayla's 217.
Yeah, it looks like
27, 217, something like that. So Kayla Bandy making up some ground on Rocio. That could be a pretty close battle for the top seed going into the last 4 games is what it looks like. Because it was 82 pins separating them before, and it'll
tighten up.
Yeah, it'll be about 30 pins or so. if the score was right that we could see. So we have games 5, 6, and 7 left. And that will be followed by a little bit of a pause as they will verify scores. And then we will have game 8, which will be the position round to determine our stepladder. See a lot of the ladies playing that tight inside line on this long pattern, trying to find some success. But then you also will see some other players kind of not even close to that zone, like watch Brianna Caldwell, as she is a little bit more right but direct. Certainly aren't going to hook the whole lane on this pattern.
No.
I don't think.
No, you really can't. Because then you bring the out of bounds into play.
Yep. Oh, it's closer than I thought. Kayla's within 9 of Rocio. Let me refresh my page here. So Rocio is still in the lead, but Kayla's only 9 pins back. And Diana Zavyalova is at plus 944. So she's like 137 off the lead. Danielle McEwen at plus 925, and then you've got Kelly Kulik 45 pins outside of 4th. Shannon Pluhowski 47. So Pluhowski has really tumbled. Missy Parkin 54 off the show. Stephanie Johnson 113, and Christina Wendell 157. What a fall for Pluhowski today, though. She was leading after qualifying yesterday, and she has dropped all the way to 6th place. Plus 878 and 47 pins outside of the number. That 170 game really hurt her last game. She's only plus 2 scratch this afternoon and 1 and 3 in matches. So that hurts.
Yeah, that's you're going to drop when the scores are reasonably high and you're not winning matches if you're only averaging 200.
You know who's had the big number today or this afternoon is Diana. 980 for 4 games and 3-1 match play record, and that's what has helped her move up to 3rd place.
Yeah, she can really score when she gets it going. Watched her bowl at the Intercollegiate Singles Championship 2 years ago, and
she averaged like 290 on the show.
She did, yeah. she did literally, yeah. It was 289.5 or something. Yeah.
Well, Rocio and Kayla have managed to build a little bit of a cushion. They are both almost 200 pins or so ahead of 5th. So that's a pretty nice cushion going into the last 4 games.
Pretty much locked on the show, yeah.
And you've got to avoid going, 170, 170, 170, 170 in the last 4 games.
Right.
But when you're averaging 230 plus, you would think that their odds are pretty good of making the show. And it really is nice to see Kayla Bandy bowl so well and hopefully make a show, because Kayla is a great young bowler. She's the head coach at Maryland Eastern Shore and former Junior Team USA member. And all-around good person and great bowler. So I'm glad to see her finding some success this week.
Yeah, she made a finals earlier in the season, and I believe took a couple of weeks off, and she could get into the Tour Championship if she could win here today. Definitely looks like she's going to have a chance.
Yeah, I'm sure she just wants to make the show and give herself the opportunity. And Rocio made a show earlier this season in Sacramento. She finished 4th in that event. Kayla was a former standout collegiate bowler at Pikeville. Rocio, of course, a standout at Wichita State. Diana, a standout at Weber International, and Danielle at Fairleigh Dickinson. So our 4 bowlers continue in the top 4 right now, continuing our trend of recent college grads dominating the PWBA Tour. That's kind of what has happened this season, with the exception of the Queens, which was won by Liz Johnson.
There really aren't any players out here that don't have college degrees.
Or at least didn't go to college.
Right.
Yeah. There are a couple, but most of them have some sort of collegiate experience.
Yeah. That's nice to watch. Just a textbook. Can't really do it much better than that. And I've said it before. Yeah, Danielle McEwen.
And I find it interesting that Kayla Bandy doesn't have a ball contract, or at least she doesn't have a sponsored logo on her shirt. That kind of surprises me a little bit. She's very talented, and I would guess that perhaps that might change after this week.
Will.
Especially if she wins. I have a feeling she'll have a couple of offers.
I would assume so.
I'm not sure what, you know what equipment she's throwing, I think, from your reports that you do. I'm not sure what she's been throwing this week, but.
Yeah, she's been throwing some different equipment from different manufacturers.
So
there's a track paradox that she's throwing. But she has thrown some different equipment from a bunch of different manufacturers.
And and it's not out of the realm of possibility. Some players choose to not be on staff. It's kind of rare, but to be able to have the flexibility to throw the best of all the brands.
Yeah. That track paradox, that's had a lot of success out here on tour since it's been available.
I believe that's the ball that Christina Wendell shot 300 with.
Okay.
Track
yeah, and Stephanie Johnson, that's the ball she used when she dominated in her win. Also used it the week she finished 2nd. Diana Zabulova has been throwing it quite a bit. It's kind of her go-to ball on the shorter patterns. This week she's throwing a Red Legend.
It's so hard for me to keep up with all the bowling balls. There's so many and so many different companies, and
yeah, there are a lot of good bowling balls out there. That's the thing.
Although it does seem like that there has been a shift in focus in the bowling ball industry to focus more on quality than quantity lately, focusing on delivering balls that are high performance and not necessarily ball after ball after ball after ball after ball coming out.
We just want to give them a place to let their product shine.
Yeah, pretty much. And every week it seems like it's been a good mix of different ball brands being represented. Not only in match play, but also on the shows.
Yeah, we do a weekly report called the Use Report, which goes out to all the companies every week, and it shows what equipment the players used, all the bowling balls that were in their bag that week, and then also all the accessories and logos and jerseys. And that goes out, as I mentioned, every week so the companies can see how they're doing. Danielle's bowled a pretty good game here for 199 pace.
Yeah, and she's losing against Jackie. That is a powerful strike right there. My ears are ringing a little bit in the headset.
She hit the stone 8 on that lane in the 7th, so she could easily have a 4-bagger right now and be ahead in the match. Instead, she's trailing.
Kayla looking for her first double of this game. She gets it. She's got a pretty nice lead, 27 pins on Caldwell. Carbonetto is taking it to McEwen here. Another strike. Jackie can get to 258 this game. Danielle can only shoot 229, so Danielle needs a little help.
Yeah, Jackie needs a mark.
Another great shot for Kayla. Jackie had a hard time closing out games this morning. Heard her say she left splits 3 times to lose in the 10th frame.
Wow, that hurts.
Not this time, though. She leaves the 7 pin, still needs to make it, but at least it's not a split. Jackie 3-8-1 in her matches today, or overall.
Yeah, when you have a couple players that are 10-2 and 11-1, you're going to have a lot of players on the opposite end of the spectrum as well.
That's correct, yeah. And you got Rocio at 10-2 and Kayla at 11-1, and everybody else has at least 4 losses in the field. There's a split for Caldwell, 2-4-10. Looks like Jackie's going to go to the bag and throw a different ball on the fill. Always a smart decision. .236 for Jackie Carbonetto. And losing this game will most likely hurt Danielle McEwen a little bit. She's inside the cut number by 45 pins right now, but
she's just trying to make it interesting for us. That's it.
I'm sure she doesn't want that.
The bowlers want it interesting, and we want it interesting, and the bowlers don't.
It's important that Danielle tries to find a double out there in the 10th to at least get to 229 this game, well, which is right about her average for the tournament.
Yeah, it's just trying to save pins right now at this point. But we were kind of having a good time last night with the roll-off, and great shot there. A couple folks in the crowd after Lindsay struck in the 9th said, "Oh, it's over." And I said, "No, it's not over yet. If Clara strikes out, Lindsay's still going to need to get a good count and a mark." Oh, it's over. No, I'm telling you, if she. So I started going through scenarios that would where she could lose, and well, she could Creek Church, or she could leave a 2-8-10 and get 1, and that would be a loser. So after the match came over, Lindsay comes up to me and says, "So I heard you were in the crowd telling everybody what I needed to miss in order to lose."
Oh, boy.
Well, I'm an announcer, so I want drama.
That's right. We search for the drama.
And if you set it up the right way, then when Lindsay gets up, you have this moment where
Sure.
And she gets it. She looks like a hero, rather than someone who didn't really need to do anything to win. So it's good for her too.
236, 216. Carbonetto defeats McEwen. Kayla Bandy looks like she's on her way to a 12-1 record. Caldwell just can't get anything going.
Yeah, looks like it's funny. Yesterday we were talking about how she has been struggling in match play because she tends to like to play left of everybody, and she looks like now she's too far right.
Yeah. Finals tonight coming up at 6:30 p.m. Central Time here on Bull TV on Extra Frame. Got a lane breakdown, but I saw Damon Sirocco, our tournament director. He was sitting right behind us, and he saw it right away and went over and told him to get it fixed. Looks like they're on it right now. I think Pluhowski's in a bit of a close game again. I can't really tell. I have really good eyes, and I still can't read it. Only 3 pairs away.
It looks like she's going to lose.
It looks like she can shoot 201.
2-0, yeah.
And Sandy, who she's bowling, has got a string of strikes of at least 5.
I think she bailed out 2-teen.
Yeah, so maybe enough to defeat Pluhowski. Pluhowski doesn't look very happy, and she probably shouldn't. She's not bowled great this afternoon. She's gone from leading at the start of the day. She was 3rd after the first round of match play, and now 6th, and in jeopardy of dropping even more. I guess if you're Danielle McEwen, you're not too upset to see that, because that's one less person behind you who can overtake you.
Yeah, we're not sure what Kelly Kulik's doing. She's all the way on the low end.
Too far away to see.
But we'll find out soon enough.
Yes, we will. And if Kayla Bandy strikes out, she would shoot 248 with the win. And depending on what Rocio does, that could be enough for Kayla to move into the lead. Let's see. Now Rocio's bowling pretty good. She just left the 10 pin though. She can go 230 this game. And it looks like she's going to win. So it is possible for Kayla to take the lead if she...
Yeah, if she goes off the
doubles
sheet,
here.
Shoot 248. And
Not quite.
Shake the 7 out.
Regardless, Kayla and Rocio are going to be pretty close again after this game with 3 to go. I just saw Diana walk past, and she realized she was on the live streaming pairs, and she rolled her eyes. Nice to see you too, Diana.
She doesn't like cameras.
No, she does not. Diana is talking to Boomberry Muffin, Aaron McCarthy.
Yes. See if that nickname sticks.
Be a 228 for Kayla Bandy if she strikes here on the fill. 227, so she'll go plus 57 this game. She moves to 12-1 in match play. Pretty solid record against a tough field.
Can't do much better than that.
And really, it's not like she's blowing everybody away in terms of average. I mean, you got the top 14 are all within 12 pins of each other for average, so it's not like there's a huge difference. She's just finding a way to win matches.
Yeah, when the field's that tightly bunched, it makes a difference.
Gonna have Rocio Restrepo against Shannon Pluchowski on 15 and 16. Rocio's been bowling her 10th frame for about 5 minutes down there. She's bowling Missy this game. Looks like Rocio shot either 212 or 222, somewhere in there. I should refrain from speculation until the standings come out. It's too hard to read the scoreboards from the side here. .227 to 190. Bandy defeats Caldwell. Stephanie Johnson's bowling Kelly Kulik this game.
Yeah, Stephanie's still alive in the tournament. I mean, if she shot a decent game last game, she might have picked up a lot of ground because it looked like everybody between her and the show struggled a bit.
That's possible.
She kind of snuck in last week and finished 6th. Just kind of plugged along all day on Saturday and didn't really have a lot, but hung around and then swooped in the last couple of games and ended up 6th. She's been a point earning machine.
And she's ahead by quite a bit, too. I think she's going to be the point leader again after this week, regardless of how it plays out, because she was ahead by like 10,000 points, I think.
Yeah, she's going to earn another good chunk of points this week, and actually taking on Kelly Kulik, who's the number 2 point earner so far this season, this match.
Yeah, Stephanie was ahead of Kelly by about, just shy of 10,000 points. So, how many points are there for a win each week?
15,000.
And so, 16th place has got to be 5,000 range. Yeah. So, it's almost certain that Stephanie will stay on top of the points list.
Yes. And And then we have Diana, who's bowling here in front of us, who's number 3 on the point list.
And then Plahowski is going to be up there, I think. I would guess that Plahowski will probably have a chance to move into the top few. Let's see. She's 10th right now, so she'll, with Liz Culkin and Amanda Green not bowling this week, and Erin McCarthy missing the cut, Shannon Plahowski could move up.
Yeah, Rocio Restrepo is also
she's in 15th. Yeah.
Got a chance to move up quite a bit. Of course, if you win, you're automatically in the Tour Championship.
That's correct.
But going from 3 to 2 is huge because that would lock you on the TV show of the tournament. Wouldn't have to bowl all the matches. And then the 3 and 4 ranked players will get 1 round of bye.
Well, we have the updated standings. The magician, Kathy Wonka, already has the scores done. And Rocio, she did win against Missy Parkin. And she leads by 14 on Kayla Bandy, so it's still pretty close. Diana is in 3rd place at plus 1027. Danielle McEwen is 4th at plus 941. Kelly Kulik is 5th, 26 pins back. Missy Parkin 44 back. Stephanie Johnson now just 53 back. Shannon Plahowski 72 pins off the show currently. Everybody else more than 140 back. So it certainly, at this point, seems like you've got a 5-player race for 1 spot.
Yeah, we could
the way
have
it's looking right now.
Could have an exciting position round again like we had last week.
We've got Rocio and Kayla, who have kind of pulled away from the field, up by still more than 200 pins on 5th place, and then Diana is 112 pins up on 5th, so it's a good number, but 3 games left. That could be overcome depending on how she bowls. And then we've got Danielle, who's in that number 4 spot by just 26 pins. And you've got Shannon Plahowski, who's 1 and 4 and has only shot 993 for 5 games. That's under a 200 average for Plahowski this afternoon.
Wow.
So she's -7 on a scratch, from scratch standpoint. And then when you look at the scores of the other players around her, I mean, it's
200,
she's getting blown out.
150 to 200 pins less.
I don't know what the difference is for Shannon, maybe other than poor execution, because there's no other left-hander in the field. I mean, I know that every time you strip and re-oil, it can be a little different, but I can't imagine it's drastically different on the left side than it was this morning or yesterday.
Yeah, it's not a video game. You know, you actually have to go out and bowl well. So, you know, even a slight difference in the way they're playing, compounded by the fact that you're not throwing it well or you're not making the adjustments quickly enough, you know, can turn 230 into 200 in a hurry.
Jody Wessner with the front 3 has a 10-pin lead on Diana. Wessner can keep it perfect. Jody's down in 11th place, currently 254 pins off the show. Wow, she shoots 800 for the last 3, you never know, I guess.
Stranger things have happened.
You don't know. It could be, you go 290 over for the last 3 games, 3 wins, 800. Could happen.
The regional one year, Dave Bowles shot 900 the last 3 to go from middle of the pack to winning the tournament. I once bowled in a junior event where a bowler bowled an 845 the last 3 games to make the stepladder finals.
Anything's possible, but it's awfully hard to make up ground when the scoring pace is high like it is this week. Diana pulls back to within 10. Rocio with a couple of spares to start this game. Really more of a must-win game for Shannon Pluhowski than it is for Rocio Restrepo.
Yeah, I mean it's a different fight basically. Rocio's trying to get the #1 seed, which is nice to have, but she's still going to be on the show either way.
After 12 games yesterday, Shannon Pluhowski was averaging 245. And now that average has dropped to 228.76. So Shannon Pluhowski's average has dropped more than 16 pins a game since yesterday. It's a pretty dramatic drop.
Diana's making funny faces at Aaron McCarthy after every shot. She's not quite thrilled with the way the ball's going through the pins. She's got a 4-bagger, but there's an odd leave there for Shannon Pluhowski. Looked like the rack was a little off on that one.
8 and 9 pins have been tough to carry this week for some people. This is not the point in the tournament when you want to leave a 9-pin like that for Shannon Pluhowski. Jody up by 10, trying to keep it perfect, 6th frame. Wow, ring 10.
Good break there.
She needs to start carrying some of those hits. Otherwise, she's going to be in some trouble. Six pin was DOA for Diana on that shot.
Yeah, I think she knew that was coming. She knows the ball's not really going through the pins all that well on this pair of lanes. And it was kind of a matter of time before one of those hits didn't carry.
A little bit of a slow start this game for Rocio. Three spares in a row, only down by 10.
Yeah, we're in the, towards the end of the block here, and so the front part of the lane's hooking a little bit now, and the players are trying to figure out, the right little tweaks to make to get the ball to go through the pins, because now they're a little bit further left. Say Deanna just right of the 4th arrow, and she's just trying to figure out how to, whether it's a hand adjustment or speed adjustment, just to get the ball to shape right so that when she hits the pocket, it strikes. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
You want to see that 10-pin get popped right out.
Yep. That's how you want to see your ball go through the pins.
I mean, I didn't really love that shot off of her hand. It looked like she kind of was being real nice to it and hoping. And when you see the ball pop the 10 out, when you're doing that, you know you have a chance to shoot a big game.
Kelly Kulik and Stephanie Johnson are locked in a pretty tight game. Stephanie up by 1 pin as they close out the 7th frame. Like Shannon got that one a little left. Leaves the 7. After a couple of spares, Jody Westner looking to regroup here, 8th frame. And that one needed a lot of help. She misses the head pin completely, leaves the super washout.
That's the out of bounds we were talking about with the long pattern. You can't just throw it as far right as you want and expect it to hook back. I mean, that wasn't that far right. Yeah, it just had no chance.
Yeah, you won't see the ball turn over like it will. You don't see too many people hooking the ball too much this week. People who are playing in are playing pretty, the angles are pretty closed. And the people who are playing out are really kind of pointing it. They're not really playing out, but maybe up 10, but pointing it
right
at the head pin. There's not really a whole lot of big hooks out there. That one's pretty far in off her hand, or Rocio. Well, that open frame by Jody is giving Diana the lead.
Yeah, strike here, and she's got a big lead, 28 pins.
Gets the strike. Diana with the lead. A couple of frames to go. We only have one more game after this before the position round. Stephanie Johnson just opened against Kelly Kulik. There's another one of those hits for Diana that leaves the 10 pin with the 6. Taking a nap in the gutter.
Yeah, that's why she's not making a ball change, because she's still going to possibly shoot 240.
She's up by 18, so she's got the lead now.
Yeah, and she's got the pocket under complete control.
Rocio slapping it out, gets the 7 to go. Rocio trying to pump herself up. She's got that angry face.
It's fun to watch. Trying to pick which food she wants.
Yeah. Fueling up. Got a muffin for the I don't know if it's a Boomberry muffin or not, but she's got a muffin for the to help her get through the rest of the block.
Yeah. Well, Aaron McCarthy didn't give it to her, so.
No, it came from her Colombian teammate,
Yes.
Andrea Ruiz.
I don't know if they have Boomberry muffins in Colombia.
Not sure. Ninth frame for Westner. Leaves almost the 4-9 split. It gets the 9 to go.
Yeah, with that miss there, now Jody, if he strikes out in the 10th, Diana would just need a mark.
Puhowski still leads Restrepo by 1. 3 frames to go. Kelly Kulik not exactly putting up a big game, but she's winning, as Charlie Sheen would say. She's going to go 218 if she strikes out. Stephanie Johnson can shoot 211. It's an important matchup because it's number 5 versus number 7 in the standings. And they're really not lighting it up over there. Not really doing a whole lot to move the needle.
Yeah, Shannon's got to be frustrated because she's so close. She just can't strike. And that's going to give Diana the win. And another good week for Jody, but going to come up a little short of the TV show. Or the Lucas show. This week. Yeah.
The Bowl TV on Extra Frame show. We just call it the show.
The show.
Just the show.
It is. It's the show.
We try our best to make it as TV-like as possible.
That's what the players call it.
Just trying to see what Missy Parkin is doing. Looks like she's losing by 23 against Gongora with a couple of frames to go. Kelly did not double in the 10th, so she's going to be at 2-0. All of this is adding up to good news for Diana Zavialova, who looks like she's going to increase her lead on 5th place. 2 games left. So that'll give her a little bit more of a cushion. Same for Rocio, who's got a double now in the lead in the match. Sure looks promising for Restrepo, Bandy, and Zavialova to make the show.
Yes.
With just 2 games to go.
Yes, it does. I think.
I don't know what Kayla's bowling this game.
Well,
she's all the way down on 1 and 2.
Yeah, she can't bowl a bad enough game to
drop out.
Out of the show.
You wouldn't think so.
Missy Parkin is losing.
Yeah, she can only shoot 211, and Sandy can shoot 240 at her. Stephanie left a 10 pin on her first shot in the 10th to lose to Kelly. 2-0 to 190. Diana gets the double in the 10th to get into the 240s. Rocio might let out a little yell here if she strikes. She slapped it instead.
Yes.
She knew she'd do something. 3 in a row for Rowe, and she is now in control, and she's still got the angry face.
That's the face we like.
That's right. She's intense. They don't come much more intense than Rocio does when she's bowling well.
Or bad.
Yeah, that's true. I prefer the angry face when she's bowling well to the angry face when she's bowling bad.
Yeah.
Nice finish for Diana. She shoots 248. Shannon is going to be 2-0 this game. Not going to help her cause. Well, 3 of our 4 players who were kind of in the hunt going to shoot 2-0 or less.
Yeah.
And actually, Missy did too, so 4 of our players. So
yeah, curious to see what McEwen did.
There could be a pretty big gap
Yeah.
if she bowled a big game. We don't know what she bowled yet. We'll find out soon enough, right?
We will.
This is one of our last pairs to get done. We have probably the fastest player in the field, Shannon Pluhowski, bowling perhaps the slowest player in the field, Rocio Restrepo. But I'm not going to give Rocio a hard time about being slow because I'll get yelled at. But she's definitely much faster than she used to be.
Well, you're probably going to get yelled at.
Probably would.
You've said too much. That's all right. That's our job.
That's right.
We're here to be yelled at.
And Rowe doesn't even need a mark here to win this game, I don't believe. She should be good. In fact, she could strike out for 246. Even an open would put her in the 2 teens. But I'm sure she'd like to get as much as she can here. Looks pretty good. Hope we see that same intensity level on the show tonight.
We will. I guarantee you. She was like that on the show in Sacramento, and she's going to be into it.
Makes
Plus,
it fun
I think
to
she
watch.
has new glasses.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they're old glasses, but she's reusing them.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. I like them. Too. I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they look like
Looks like
swimmer's
she's
goggles.
like she's ready to ride a motorcycle. Or
Yeah,
something.
that's even better. Yeah.
Right now, she's on the strike train.
That was a better shot.
Look at that.
Yeah, that was her best shot of the match right there. You know what happens? I think she's probably was trying to figure out some transition, and what happens with the players is they'll kind of feel it out, and then once they figure out that they can get away with maybe missing a board left or missing a board right, they start to get really aggressive, and the last couple shots she's thrown have been very, very aggressive.
Puts her in the 240s, and I think that she knows that this big game here has solidified her spot on the show this evening. Even with 2 games to go, she's in.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Those last 3 shots were pretty good.
Must have been the muffin. 246 to 206. Fueled by her banana nut muffin or whatever it is. Rocio Restrepo takes the win against Shannon Pluhowski and delivers a pretty harsh blow to Shannon Pluhowski's chances of making the finals tonight. That was the last match to finish, so Kathy should have the standings updated pretty quickly. All right, so we've got Liz Johnson against Christina Windle and Lindsay Boomershine against Megan Kelly. For our final game before the position round. Should have an update for you in just a moment. It looks like Caleb Andy did not bowl so well in that last game. Looks like she lost. So Rocio Restrepo leads by almost 100 now at plus 1219. And you've got Kayla Bandy at plus 1125. And Diana Zavjalova at plus 1105. So Diana now just 20 pins behind Kayla. Danielle McEwen at plus 997. And as we expected, the number of players who are within pretty close distance of Danielle has shrunk dramatically. Right now it's Kelly Kulik at plus 44. At 44 back. Kelly Kulik 44 pins behind. Danielle McEwen. And then Liz Johnson 106 back. Missy Parkin 107 back. Stephanie Johnson 114. Shannon Blahowski's 122 back of fourth place with 2 to go. Jason Thomas is back. Had to run out to do director of operational things. And we were right, by the way. The big difference that we didn't know is that Rocio now leads by almost 100 because Kayla lost and only shot only 190, about 196. And then Diana is third, almost right neck and neck for second place. And Danielle McEwen is fourth. Kelly Kulik 44 back, and then it drops off after that, with everybody else more than 100 back with 2 games to go.
Wow, went from having interesting position round to less interesting position round. But there's still a lot of things that need to be decided, like who's going to be the second qualifier and who's going to get that last spot on the show. Liz going to need a huge game this game.
And Jason, ideally, what's the difference that you want to be going into that last game to have a chance to make it up to fourth? What's kind of an attainable number? Is it
50?
50?
50 or 60.
Start getting into 80 or it gets kind of tough, right?
Yeah, that's...
Because you can get 30 for a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're the only player...
Jason had somebody come up to him. He'll finish that thought momentarily.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. We were just talking about the difference between how many pins you have to be back to have a legit shot to make it. I know that, you could have a huge game and be back by 80. We've seen it happen, but it's pretty rare.
You really have to be bowling the player that you're trying to catch and beat them. That's typically the best way to do it. But when there's only a 4-player stepladder,
it kind of changes the dynamic versus a 5, right?
Right.
Because you've got 3 bowling 4
Right.
versus bowling for that one spot.
Right.
So that changes the dynamic a little bit.
But it looks like there's going to be a battle for the 2 seed.
Yes.
And
Although Caleb Andy has the front 4 right now.
a battle for the 4 seed. Although, you know, Diana looked like she had a good look with everything. And I wouldn't be surprised to see her shoot another big game. She's got strike spare double.
Actually, spare triple, I think.
Is it spare triple?
Yeah. Stephanie Johnson has strike spare double.
Okay.
They're bowling each other this game. And Kelly Kulik is bowling against Jody Wessner on 23 and 24 this game.
Yeah, and Kelly has spare turkey.
And Danielle McEwen is off to our left. Spare strike for her to start. She's bowling Caldwell.
Another good week for Christina Wendell.
She had a 300 to carry with her, a memory from this event.
That was cool.
Yeah.
She slapped out the last one.
You got to see it finally on
Yeah.
Facebook?
Yeah, I saw that. That was really cool.
Her second 300 of the standard events. Liz Culkin and Christina Wendell. Christina had a great first regular season event in Sacramento where she was the top seed but then lost in the championship to Alicia Curran.
Yeah, then she just missed the show the next week. She also had a good queens. So she's hovering right around 10th on that point list, and she's going to probably move up her spot or two this week. The good finish. Kelly Kulik with spare 5-bagger now.
She's making her push. Danielle McEwen has not had a double, or she had one double through 6 and clean, so 115 in the 5th for Danielle. It's possible that Kelly could pass Danielle in this game.
Lindsay Boomershine asking herself, why did I win that roll-off last night?
Yeah. It's a lot of games.
She didn't want to be alternate for the fourth time this season. Megan Kelly's had an interesting weekend. 288 to make the finals, and then pulled a 299 earlier today. And in spite of that, she's still 16th.
Yeah, it's number 15 versus number 16 on 17 and 18 this game. They very well might bowl each other again in the next game in the position round. Keeping a close eye on several matches in this game. Liz Johnson, the one on our featured pairs that has the best chance to make the finals tonight. She's 106 pins outside of 4th, so she needs a big finish.
She's got to go. Yeah, she's
time to start striking.
259 possible this game, and Kelly Kulik shooting a big game. Danielle McEwen not. So Danielle McEwen is the lady she's chasing. And Christina Wendell not cooperating.
Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to come down to Danielle and Kelly for that last spot in that last game. Kelly getting ready to bowl again. Down on lane 24. She struck again, so here comes Kelly Kulik.
She wants that DVD to be extra exciting, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. Make our Bowling Academy crew have to work overtime and do the stepladder tonight.
That's right.
Kelly struck again. Is that 7 in a row?
Spare 7 bagger. Liz now with the turkey, so she's trying to keep her hopes alive.
Well, every strike that Kelly throws is another blow to Liz's chances.
It is, but
60-something pins behind Kelly.
Sure, but you know, 259 with a win. She'd only lose 31 pins if Kelly struck out. And she'll definitely pick up some ground on Danielle, maybe a lot. And then she's going to get to bowl Kelly.
You would think, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Depending on what Missy does and what Stephanie does, they're all the way down on the low end. Danielle just left a split in the 8th frame. She could drop out of the top 4 this game.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And if she bowls poorly enough and Liz bowls well enough, she could drop to 6th. All will be made clearer in the next game.
And then as long as we don't have a tornado that knocks out the power here, we'll have
Exactly.
an end to the tournament.
I think we'll be good. The official weather forecaster for the PWBA Tour tells me that we should be fine.
Okay, good.
She keeps an eye on us.
That's good. We appreciate it.
Even though bowling's an indoor sport. Kelly got another strike. Wow. Gotta like her chances to make the show. The way she's bowling.
She's just putting on a show.
She has that will to win. Never give up. She always seems like she's right in the mix.
Curious to see what adjustment she made going into this game to give her that great look she's got now with the possible 290.
.214 for Megan Kelly as Lindsay Boomershine steps up. She can go 225, so she would need another strike to lock up the win. Kelly did not strike. She'll have the 10 pin on her first shot in the 10th. So she'll be looking at 269.
Ooh, wow.
Liz Johnson. It's at 9 pin. She trails by 9 against Wendell. Lindsay Boomershine needs a strike here to win this game against Megan Kelly. She got it.
She throws the ball so well.
Danielle McEwen trails Brianna Caldwell by 2 with 2 frames to go. She can only shoot 210. It would be really huge if Danielle could find a way to get those 30 bonus pins in that match.
It would.
Really, really, really huge.
She can't shut out Brianna.
She cannot. Doesn't look like she struck.
4 pin.
Yep. So let's say that Danielle shoots 190 with a loss here. You got Kelly pick up 90 or 109 pins in one game on Danielle and move ahead of her by 60 going into the last game. What a game by Kelly Kulik, 268. Yeah. She picks up the win. And it's basically gonna flip the 4th and 5th position situation. Kelly was out of the number by 44. Now she's going to go in the number by 60 probably. Depending on how Danielle and Brianna finish up. That's why this finish is so important for
it is.
For Danielle.
We now could have 3 or 4 players with a chance.
And we don't know what's going on down on the low end. I can tell you that it looks like Diana Zavjalova is beating Stephanie Nation. It looks like, Johnson. Stephanie shot 217, I believe. So she didn't put up a big game. Kewen bowling in the 10th frame, just tripped the 4. Well, best case, Danielle can go 200 and win and go plus 30 this game.
It's a big frame here for Liz Johnson coming up. She's basically going to be out of it unless she wins this match.
I think best case scenario for Danielle McEwen is that she's down 24 against Kelly going into the last game. So Danielle is going to drop to 5th. It's just a matter of what the difference will be from 4th to 5th. We know that Kelly Kulik will be in 4th after this game.
Well, Danielle's going to force Brianna to get at least the first strike in the 10th.
Yeah, Danielle got the double. I honestly don't know that it matters too much what Liz does here. I don't think Liz is going to have a chance. She's going to be more than 100 pins behind Kelly, even if she strikes out to win. And that's a lot with a game left, right?
Yeah,
she was.
It is
62 behind her, and she can only go 227 and win. She's going to lose another 60 pins against Kelly. So Kelly's in good shape.
Well, Liz can still win the match.
Yep. She can go 227 and win, but remember, Kelly went 100,
right.
100 plus over
that
game.
98 over, yeah.
Well, almost 100, so.
Yeah. Well, that's going to guarantee Christina Wendell at least a tie with Liz Johnson.
Which hurts Liz even more.
Right.
Caldwell is up on the approach. She can throw the first one to beat Danielle McEwen. She didn't throw it very good, but it looks like she found a way to strike.
Good enough.
It's not locked in yet. Caldwell still has a little work to do. Nine spare should be 201, win by 2, so she still needs to get good count on her first shot and make the spare. And Liz can still throw a couple of strikes here to tie Christina Wendell. Looks like Bree got enough. She will deal a pretty tough blow to Danielle McEwen's chances.
Yeah, that ring 10, that's going to take Liz out of it.
It may not be a very dramatic position round after all.
Well, it's going to be between, looks like Danielle and Kelly.
So Danielle shot 199. So Kelly basically picked up 100 pins on her, right? So it'll be about a 65 pin advantage for Kelly Kulik going into the last game. That's what it looks like between 4th and 5th. So we'll be back in a little bit. We'll have a little break here while they tabulate the scores, and we'll have the position round for you here in just a few minutes, live on Bowl TV on Extra Frame.
Check. There we go. Okay, bowling fans, that'll take a brief break here. Position round coming up. We're going to put our standing sheets in order. About 10 minutes or so, we'll come back out and we'll begin game numbering position round where our top 4 advance to the finals. Brief roll call, all match play finalists, tournament office behind 5 and 6. Thank you.
They do? Oh, then I have plenty of time. Okay. I'm going to get us 2 fresh batteries.
Bowling fans, we've got our score sheets in order. Currently in first place, Rocio Restrepo, averaging better than 233 at plus 1,283. She'll square off against Kayla Bandy. This will take place on lanes 15 and 16. They're about 60 pins apart there, and there's a chance number 2 you can overtake number 1. On lanes 17 and 18, it'll be our 3 and 4 qualifiers, Diana Zagiolova and Kelly Kulik. Still some room for Kelly to perhaps move up, or Diana to move up in the number 2 position. Number 5 and 6 will happen on lanes 11 and 12. Danielle McEwen and Stephanie Johnson. Danielle's 55 pins out, and Stephanie's 101 pins out. Outside chance there. The rest of our competitors will take the other lanes here. So 15, 16 will be our 1 and 2, and then 17 and 18 will be our 3 and 4 competitors. Ladies, as soon as the lanes come on, 5 minutes of practice.
That's cool. Thank you.
All right, here we go with our position round at the PWBA Minnesota Open. We've got our 1, 2, 3, 4 players on the featured pairs for this game. Got a battle for the top seed between Rocio Restrepo and Kayla Bandy, separated by 61 pins. So Restrepo has a 61 pin advantage. So Kayla would need to win the game by 32 to take the top seed. And we've got Diana, who is at a little bit farther back at plus 1140. Kelly Kulik at plus 1051. So we don't really expect too much to change in terms of Diana's positioning, unless Kayla were to put up a bad game or something similar. And then we've got Danielle McEwen, who's on the outside looking in now as the situation flipped after that last game. Danielle was in the number by 44. Now she's out of the number by 55. And she is bowling Stephanie Johnson, who's out of the number by 101. So we'll keep an eye on all of it. I'm Lucas Wiseman along with Jason Thomas. This is our final game. Should be interesting. Battle for the top seed and most likely battle for the 4th seed as well. Kelly bowled a great game last game to put herself in this position.
Yeah, I was going to add Diana just bowled on this pair 2 games ago and shot 248 on it, and it's not great news for Kelly. Probably means she's going to have to shoot a big game to win. But that looked pretty good.
Yeah. And Danielle not only needs to win, she needs Kelly to lose, and she needs to beat Kelly by 26 pins. So that's asking a lot, but possible.
Yeah, it's not.
Especially when it's Kelly. If it was anybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
When it's Kelly, that's tough.
But you know, it's not. It wouldn't be too surprising.
No.
Yeah. And then look who snuck into 6th again.
Yeah, Stephanie's always right there, isn't she?
The point machine.
Kelly with a double to start.
Kelly will take the lead on the season in championship round appearances with a show here. McEwen also, if she were able to find a way in, she would take the lead. This would be her 3rd.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who have had 2.
Right.
Rough frame for Diana here in the 2nd.
Yeah, bad news for Danielle and bad news for Diana herself in trying to get that number 2 seed.
Yeah, it's possible Diana could get there. It's a little bit of a stretch at 82 pins, but it's possible. She would need Kayla to give her a little bit of help, and you never know.
And you would have to give Rocio the advantage this match because she just hit this pair 2 games ago as well and shot 240 on it. So can't imagine the pairs changed that much in the 1 game between her last time on it and this game.
Really, the only thing that matters for Rocio is she just needs to basically stay within 30 pins of Kayla. Even if she loses, as long as she's within 30 pins, doesn't matter. She's still the number 1 seed. They got to spot the 8-pin. Add the 8-pin to Kayla's leave there as it fell. The rack hit it, so doing that right now. There's really no danger of Diana dropping off the show. She's 140 in by 144, so I don't know there's much danger of her dropping out unless she bowled a really low game. Especially since Danielle's only strike spare to start. Open frame for Kayla. Stephanie Johnson double 10-pin to start this game. Oh, we saw a lot of that 2 games ago, didn't we, with Rocio?
We sure did.
Kelly looking to stay perfect and secure a spot on the show tonight. 3 for 3.
Yeah, right now her magic number is plus 44. If she goes more than plus 44 at this point, she will lock out Danielle McEwen. So that means she just needs 214 and a win.
Right, because McEwen can shoot 269. So
Right.
that you take that, you subtract the 55 from it. That's how you get that number.
It's math, kids.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why you go to school.
Well, hopefully not, but yeah, it helps. If you go to school, then you can figure out how to
Exactly.
tell what's happening in a position.
Not exactly rocket science. But there is a lot of moving parts. That's
There-
what makes
yes.
it a little tougher.
It's very similar to how, the wild card is decided in football. All the different scenarios. And
Yep.
tiebreakers.
Well, Kelly finally misses and leaves the 10-pin. Danielle is really not showing any signs of doing a whole lot again. I think, did she hit the same pair she just finished on?
Yeah, it's the worst pair in the house.
And I think, and Hank says it's the worst pair in the house. And so I think that's bad luck for Danielle that she caught that pair again where she just shot 2-0 on. So that does not bode well for her chances. Since Danielle just went 9 spare again, that means Kelly's magic number just went down by 11.
Right.
So now Kelly just needs 2-0 and a win.
Right.
203. She certainly is on pace to top 203 this game. Took a snapshot of it right now. Our top 4 would be just as they are in the standings coming into this game. Rocio number 1, Kayla number 2, Diana number 3, Kelly number 4. Rocio up by 14. Still in good shape. Once again, she just needs to stay within 30 of Kayla to secure the top seed. Diana looking for her first double of the game. She's got it. Not as dramatic as we would have hoped for, I guess. As Kelly trips out the 4 for the strike.
Yeah, usually there's a lot more math involved in position round.
They're making it awfully easy on us so far.
Yeah.
Kelly's going at a 2:19 pace, which if she were able to win the game would be more than enough to lock up the fourth seed. What a powerful strike by Kelly Kulik in the 6th with a double. Danielle finally got a double. Kayla looking for a triple, and she's got it. Pulls it within 4.
Danielle struck again, so she's still got 259 possible. So that 203 magic number still applies. And Diana back in the match, so that could possibly make it interesting-ish.
Potentially. It's at least starting to tip the other direction of being interesting versus going the way it was going for a while.
Well, if Diana could pull this win out, then Kelly would still need 233.
Kelly going at a 2:29 pace.
Trying to use math to drum up some drama here.
Kelly keeps striking, it's not going to matter. I'll tell you that much. That makes the math easy.
Exactly.
Every strike she throws is one step closer.
Yeah, we once did a promo for the PBA, and one of the question that we asked all the players is, what do you do to put pressure on your opponent? And Chris Barnes had the perfect answer. He just said, I just strike.
Good answer. It's the best thing you can do. All right, let's see if Kelly can keep her strong start to this game going. 5 out of 6 strikes to start this position round game for Kelly Kulik. 7th frame. She's not showing any signs of letting up, is she?
No, she's not. And, you know, part of it is just the timing. You know, she's gotten to a point in the day where she's just got a great look. She's got the right ball in her hand, and she's making great shots. So she's glad the tournament is ending right now. And really, she hasn't been in the top 4 all week until the last game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly getting it together at the right time. Had the big 7th game in this block, and now having a big final game as well.
It's funny how great players seem to do that.
Yeah. She's making great shots right now. Danielle struck again, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. Danielle can shoot 258. She strikes out 9th and 10th.
Ooh, almost had an apple there.
Almost had a 5-7-10.
Ooh, Nelly. All right, well, Danielle has to strike just off to our left, or Kelly Kulik is on the show.
She struck. Faint hope alive.
And that helped
Yep.
Kelly there. Really the only chance Danielle had was if Diana kept striking and was able to win the match. But it's still not over.
2 frames left. Kelly steps up and pops another strike. It is over. Basically, Kelly just needs to stay clean and she'll be in pretty good shape.
Yes, correct.
It would. I mean, it's. I don't know that that's mathematically enough, but I think it would probably realistically be enough.
Well, she's on a 2:49 pace, so one open would put her in the 2:30s, and depending on the count, she would just need a mark. So she basically
Stay clean.
needs one mark the last 2 frames, assuming Danielle strikes out in the 10th.
Stepladder finals coming up in about 90 minutes here on Bowl TV. On Extra Frame. 6:30 p.m. Central Time is when we'll get started.
So Kelly would have to open. Diana would have to throw all 3 in the 10th, assuming she makes this spare, and Danielle would have to throw all 3 in the 10th for Danielle to make the show.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance. It's not very good, but there is a chance.
Oh, we see crazy things happen all the time in bowling. You never know. That seems to be one of the craziest that would ever happen, though, I think.
It would be. It would be right up there with Walter Ray getting 6th to miss the U.S. Open show.
Yes.
All right, set it up. Kelly Kulik needs a mark in 2 frames.
I'd bet the house. She'll strike. And I was wrong. Good thing I didn't bet.
But she didn't 2-8-10.
She did
so-
not, yeah. Kind of played it safe there. Got left the 2 pin.
I would bet the house that she'll make this.
Yeah, it's a safe bet.
Strepo looking good on keeping that tournament lead.
Yeah, that's not finalized yet, but getting closer.
She just needed to stay within 30, and she's actually got the lead in the match by 6.
Kelly made the spare.
And that's going to put her on the show.
Yeah.
So our finals are set. Just
Unless she Greek churches her 4 through the face or something.
or well, yeah, correct. She does
Some remote
does
scenarios.
need some
but
count. Yeah.
I think Danielle's going to go first, so if Danielle doesn't strike, it's over for sure. Danielle struck.
Danielle needs that tornado to hit right now.
Yeah, knock things out.
Yeah.
Kelly just looking to avoid disaster here to make the TV show tonight. Well, 7-10
That was
split in the
interesting.
pocket.
That was interesting. That's enough, though.
She gets 1. She's at 235.
She needed 233, so
Yeah.
she's in. She's at
Yikes.
234 now. But see, that's why we never give it to people.
That's right.
You never know.
Diana can still win this game. Actually, she can't. Can she? She can only do
No,
226.
she can't.
So yeah,
No.
actually Kelly didn't matter in the 10th because as long as Kelly won this game, she only needed to be a 2-0.
Correct.
So she'll make it by 30. So our show is coming together here. You know, Kelly Kulik is the number 4 seed. Diana Zavjalova will be the number 3 seed. Still don't know 100% who's going to be 1 and 2, but it looks like Rocio will be number 1 and Kayla will be number 2. But they still have 2 frames left to bowl.
Ooh, that makes it interesting.
Yeah, that left lane has not been too kind to her the last couple of
Yeah,
frames.
those 2 shots almost went 5-7-10, 5-7-10.
Yeah. I'm sure she's glad to not throw another shot on that lane, another horse shot on that lane, but that's the stepladder pair as well, but it'll be totally different by the time she gets out there, so we will re-oil.
It's a big spare conversion here, too, because if Kayla gets up and strikes out, she can shoot 219, and Rocio has to stay within 29. So
31, I think. 31 would be a tie, technically, so I think 30 is the number.
All right, you make it interesting.
Open frame. So if Kayla strikes out, we would force Rocio to mark with good count, I believe, to keep the top seed. Because Kayla would, if she strikes out, would be 219. And Rocio would need 189. So she would need a mark and an 8. Assuming Kayla strikes out. That looks pretty good. So maybe a little bit of 10th frame drama here for the top seed.
We've been trying to drum it up somehow with our creative math. It's a big deal, the difference between leading and second place.
Yeah, you get that top seed, you're guaranteed no worse than second this week. One less match to have to bowl. Looks like Kayla throwing a different ball on each lane.
Yeah. Have to watch for that for the step ladder. I mean, obviously these lanes have been beaten up for 8 games, and they'll bowl on the fresh for the step ladder. But we'll have to see if the lanes play a little differently than one another. But a strike here forces Rocio to mark for the tournament lead.
Stuff's a 4-pin, so Rocio Restrepo is going to be your number 1 seed. Kayla Bandy, number 2. Diana Zavjalova, number 3. And Kelly Kulik, number 4. No change in the positions after the position round.
Well, we may not have had a lot of drama for the position round, but we will for the step ladder.
Yes, I think it'll be a very exciting step ladder. We've got some ladies with some striking attitude in our finals tonight.
Yes, we do, especially the leader. And Kelly Kulik last week, we saw her make a run to try to go up the step ladder. Come up a little short. See if she can do it this week.
All right, so 10th frame to close it out. Once again, the step ladder starts in an hour and 24 minutes from now. We'll have the introduction of our 4 stepladder finalists here in just a minute. Right after Rocio finishes up here. And then we'll be back with you in about an hour and 25 minutes with the stepladder finals here live at the PWBA Minnesota Open and Island Extreme Bowl in Welch, Minnesota.
pleasure to introduce to you our top 4 players that will advance to the stepladder finals, which will take place at 6:30. And our opening match, our number 4 qualifier, 5 majors to her credit. She has a PWBA Tournament of Champions as well. Please welcome Kelly Kulik. Our number 3 qualifier, who will square off against Kelly in the opening match. She has a USBC Queens title in search of a PWBA title. Please welcome Diana Zavilova. The winner of that match will go on to face our number 2 seed. She's the head coach at Maryland Eastern Shore, 4 times a collegiate All-American. Please welcome Kayla Bandy. The winner of that match will square off against our tournament leader. She averaged better than 233 for this week's tournament. Fantastic bowling. 12 times a member of the Colombian national team. 5 times she captured the Colombian national championship. Please welcome Rocio Restrepo. All right, bowling fans, that is your top 4 for tonight's stepladder finals.